Hey everybody, so I'm Tammy, I'm the Siberian Wind, and if you will pop into the chat and let me know you're here, I would greatly appreciate it. We are just going to work on some applique today and getting a little bit of stuff done. I've got a couple of hours right now to kill, time-wise, so we're gonna play around. We're not gonna do anything like super heavy or super important. It's just um, trying to get some stuff done. So, um, what I have, this project that I've pulled out is my 2024 shop hop. So Wyoming does a shop hop every year, and so I pulled out my shop hop and I have got a lot of things to do with it. Like I have not done half of what I need to do with it. So we're gonna play. We're gonna play. Um, this particular one is actually a 2023. This shop owner had a 2023 kit left over, and it is a little snowy owl flying over trees and snow. So this was the 2023 block, but I went ahead and picked it up as my 2024. So one thing that I haven't done yet is I haven't done my ground. One of the instructions said just to cut it like a little wavy. So that's what we're going to do first so that I can have it where it needs to be. We're just going to go down maybe half an inch or so. I don't want it to be super wavy. Like I don't want it to be hard to stitch down. But when you pop in the chat, if you will let me know how you are doing today, what plans do you have for your Memorial Day weekend? I'm sure quite a few people are spending time with family, just relaxing. And so I have a couple of hours and before I have to be somewhere. So I wanted to spend some time doing something I enjoy. All right, so this is going to be my moon. And then I've cut some of these pieces out, but I haven't cut them all out. So I don't know yet what I'm missing. Because have I paid attention? No, of course not. All right, so that's apparently the front wing of the bird. And this is the back wing. And it is kind of positioned like that as the bird is flying. So we're not going to put the bird completely together until we have the trees in place too, because I want to position the bird down as far as I can, because I want my 1/4 inch seam allowance. So this fabric is really, really shiny and sparkly. Welcome in, Gladys and Katie. Welcome, welcome. Glad you guys are here. Let me grab my chat because my chat apparently, apparently YouTube created a different live instead of the one that I was planning to go under. So that is why I didn't see you guys' chat. Glad you guys are here. Thank you so much for checking into the chat. I appreciate it. We are going to pop that out so I can see it. There we go. Yay! Yay! How are you guys doing today? Are you guys sewing today? Enjoying your Saturday, your Memorial Day Saturday weekend sewing time? I know that I have been wanting to sew all weekend and I've been too busy cutting fabric for other projects, so I haven't really gotten a chance to sew. Like this is the first. I'm not actually going to sew even. I do not even have time to sew today. We are just going to put some stuff in place and just kind of chat and hang out for a little bit because I have to be somewhere later. Okay, so did I fuse these? I did not fuse these. Okay, so these are supposed to be in a black, which I don't have. They didn't include a black in here. All right, so those will have to wait. And It looks like there's supposed to be another wing part that goes over here. So I'm going to see. Nope, I did not trace it. So I think what we'll do is we'll cut out we'll cut out the trees and place them, and then we may call it quits on this one and go to a different one. Katie says she'll be binding a quilt once she finds the fabric, right? Finding the fabric is a pain in the rear, isn't it? Isn't it? Okay, there's also supposed to be a nose on this bird, a beak. And I don't think oh, there is a piece for the beak. I see a piece on the listing on the template sheet, but I did not trace a beak, apparently. Or if I did, I don't know what I've done with it. So what we'll do is we will cut out these trees and we will put this block aside and come back to it. It will be a project for another day. I've got more than 24 blocks in this box. And there were 24 shops, but I picked up a couple of extra blocks. I picked up this one, which was an extra, and I picked up 2 extras at another shop where they were making theirs into a wall hanging. So I picked up their extra blocks as well. And cutting with this brace on is really difficult. How do you guys do it? Like, have you ever had to wear a wrist brace or an arm brace and tried to cut fabric with it? Oh my goodness. This is not what I had planned, but that's okay. That's okay. This project needs to get done. I need the project box. So we need to get some projects out. I am tired of having so many project boxes and not ever really knowing which one I want to work on because there's so many options. So this shop did not provide like a layout pattern aside from the picture. So like the layout pattern, I don't have something to put underneath or on top of this to know exactly where everything should be. I just have to guesstimate based off of where I am. Katie says she broke her arm and that slowed everything down. I bet. Oh my gosh. I bet that would be painful too. I have not yet broken an arm, knock on wood. I've broken a finger and I've broken a toe and I broke my tailbone, but I've not broken an arm. And it would be like me to do something like that too. I would not be surprised if I broke an arm. So I learned something with this project, and I don't do a lot of applique, so I really don't. This is not my normal cup of tea. Like, I would not be doing applique if it wasn't for this being a shop hop and just the wanting to have the project done. It's just not my favorite kind of thing to be busy doing. But one thing, I had not used Steam-A-Seam in forever, and that's what I'm using. I'm using Light Steam-A-Seam 2. I think I got my pack at Hobby Lobby. I had some before, and I think I ran out. But what I did when I first started working on this project, I made the mistake of I drew my lines on my Steam-A-Seam, and then I cut everything out, and then I put it on the back of my fabric, and now I'm having to cut out the design without cutting through the paper too. And I've since thought better of that was not exactly the best idea. And so now I kind of cut out around the design. I leave a little bit. So I'm cutting through the paper, and I think I get a more accurate cut that way. Oh, welcome in, Chloe. She says hello, Tammy and all. She'll have to watch replay. Oh, absolutely. Enjoy that play with your girls. Absolutely. That sounds like a fun Memorial Day weekend activity. I have a little social thing to go to tonight, and I'm one of the organizers. So I have to send stuff to get printed before the event, and I've already got the keys, and it's a whole big deal. So I will be doing that later. I've been helping one group organize like every couple of months or so, and now it's like every month, especially during the summer when travel is easier here in Wyoming. So it's going to be a small event still. It's like 10, 11 people, something like that. So it's not super huge. And it's relaxing, so it's not uptight. I don't have to like dress up or nothing for it. But I still have to get ready for it. Because I hate going any place unprepared. We are not an unprepared family. I don't like the unpreparedness. So, and I think Tom is coming home today. That was the last that I heard, is he's going to come home this evening. So Mr. Siberian Wind will be back. I've had so many people asking me about the surprises for tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting day. I'm so ready for tomorrow night. I'm so ready. Like, I still have a little bit of prep work to do for tomorrow night, but not much. I think you guys are going to like these guests. I think you're going to like them. And nobody's gotten anything right yet either. Nobody has guessed. I'm quite impressed. I guess I keep you guys on your toes really well. So who else likes applique? Who out there enjoys applique? Is applique your favorite thing to do? You want to come do mine for me? I'm just going to fuse everything down, and I will sew later once I have all of these blocks done. Because if I fuse now and go ahead and sew now, then I'm just going to be changing out thread colors every time I turn around. And what I'd like to do is I'm going to, once I have all of the blocks ready, I will set my machine up with my zigzag stitch and all of the possible thread colors I want to use. And we will get all of the thread done in the same, we'll do all of the thread colors at the same time. So that way it's a little bit more uniform. And when you're getting applique from a lot of different places, or a lot of different patterns from different places, and they're all using different fabrics, it makes it a little bit easier. I will say it does look like the Wyoming Shop Hop shops actually listened to us. I think a lot of people were complaining about last year being all applique, like being so much applique. And so a lot of the shops this year, not all of them, but it looks like quite a few shops this year have gone and found a piecing design to use. Like they've figured out a way to piece the design. Now granted, they're spicing it up with the different fabrics. So it's encouraging you to buy the kit to be able to make it look exactly like the picture. But they are going back to piecing, which is really, really nice. So if you had a chance to get any car, like any vehicle Like, if you had a dream vehicle, what would that dream vehicle be? I'm curious. I'm very curious. All right, so we're going to be missing the beak, an inner wing, and I don't know why we're missing the inner wing. Because I shouldn't be missing an inner wing, because I cut it out, because it's missing. Unless, oh, that's the upper wing. Oh, no. Oh, this is the lower wing. Okay. This one's supposed to go, but it's backwards. How is it backwards? Oh, it's supposed to be backwards. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, so that actually goes on top of that. Okay, so that works, but I'm missing the upper wing, and I don't know why. I don't know where it went and why I'm missing it. So I am missing pieces, guys. We may trace out the pieces I'm missing. That may be part of it. Okay, I'm going to carry this over to the ironing board, which you're going to see right up here. And then we're going to play with the placement and get this stuff down, and then we'll deal with the other stuff later. The stuff I'm missing. And I don't know if it's because my box shifted or why I'm missing it. There's some more steam. But I'm definitely missing fabric to be able to put these on. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can put this where you guys can see it. Oh, you know what? Let me see if I can adjust the zoom. Let's see if we can get that going. And I apologize if I seem a little boring today. It was literally just, there we go. All right, that's a little bit better. I just knew that I didn't want to be alone trying to do this because, you know, you get lonely trying to do all this. All right, so now that I've cut the shape out, I'm going to peel this steam-a-seam paper off, if I can get a hold of it. There we go. I have another trick I'll do if I get stuck on another piece, which I probably will. Alright, so I'm going to put the tree a little bit behind, and we're going to press it in place. It's just sticky right now. Alright, so the other tip, if you've ever gotten stuck using steam-a-seam paper or whatever, is take a straight pen, just one of your quilting pens or safety pin or something, and you can usually then get it in there to peel that back. This one actually peeled back some of the steam-a-seam as well. So I'm going to go for a different point and see if I can get it that way. There's one other hack that I've seen that I may try. I don't know how old some of the steam-a-seam is, so I don't know which tricks will work and which ones won't. Alright, so we're going to put that tree about there. We'll do that for right now, and then see if I need to adjust. Alright. So, there we go. That one peeled off really easy. That was nice. That was very sweet of it to peel off easy. So one thing I have to remember that's hard for me to remember is I have to leave my 1/4 inch seam allowance on all 4 sides, because if I don't, I will end up with not enough room. Alright, so that's the moon. It's going to go over there. Alright, the bird wing is the largest piece of the bird. So we're going to peel this up. Oh, just peeling away the steam-a-seam. Let's readhere it. Let's see if that'll work. Let's see if it'll readhere. It's really hot. Oh, really hot. Okay, so one thing I did do with this one is, because there was pieces I could cut out of the middle, I did not, my seam is only on the outside edges. So let me pull that off. So when you're using seam, if you don't need seam across the whole piece, you can actually trace other pieces out of the middle. Just make sure you leave yourself enough of a shell to pull through. You want to leave a shell. All right, so we're going to stick the wing down in here because we still have an upper wing to do that I don't have cut. All right, so the other tip is fold it, and then you should be able to better peel that paper off. Like it'll fold at a different rate than everything underneath it, and it should make it a little bit easier. All right, so we are going to put this on top of here. And we're going to try to line it up somewhat decently. It's not exact. It was not drawn very exact either. So there's a lot of flexibility in it. So the goal is just to make it look pretty. Yeah, we're just going for looking pretty. Okay, so we're going to do the head now. Oh, and my seam is pulling up with the paper. Let's see. We'll press that back down. And we're not going to be live long today. We're just going to hang out for like an hour or so. Just depending on how things go. All right, let's see if I can get a hold of this. This one doesn't want to pull at all. There we go. So I can pull from the inside, from where I shadowed it. And that's what we can pull off. There we go. All right. So thank you guys for being here. It really does mean a lot to me. I know this is it's a pop-up. It's not anything we had scheduled. And I know you have lots of places you could be, so I appreciate you being here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. There we go. I'll pull that up. And then we can put this in place. There we go. All right, and my eyes are kind of wonky. I don't know. Apparently that's how they were drawn. It didn't look like they were wonky in the picture, but they are definitely wonky on the paper, like on the traced portion. And after we get this fused down, I'm going to change blocks. We're not going to just keep going with the same block. I'm not going to fight through it. This is just get a little bit of stuff done. That's really all this is just get a little stuff done. All right, there's one eye. My husband loves owls, so he will like this block and this 2024's block as well, which are all going on the same quilt. He will like them because he likes owls. I am not super, one way or the other with owls. I like them. They're pretty, but I also know that they're very fierce hunters. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about owls. All right, this is the tail. I only have one ear, and I don't have that upper wing. So I don't have my beak. I don't know what I did with them. They've got to be in this box because I wouldn't have walked off with them anywhere else. Unless I threw them away accidentally. Maybe that's a possibility. All right. Let's see. We're going to use the pin trick again. To just get in there in the edge. and you're sticking it between the paper and the fabric, and then you're able to pull it off. Okay, we're going to stick the tail right there, and then we're going to put the moon up. And that's all the applique that I have for this one. I've got so much to cut. It's missing so much, and I don't know why. I know that the eyebrows are in black, and there's no black included in the kit. So I know that I'm gonna have to go find. I'm gonna have to go find some. So all I'm gonna do is press this down. The snow at the ground isn't going to stay because there's no fusible behind it. I could have put some, but I'm not super worried about it. I think it'll be fine just the way it is. So, all right, so we got an owl, 3 trees, and a moon. Snowy owl. Very snowy owl. So what do you guys think so far? It needs a lot of stitching on it to be personable. So we got a lot left to go on it, but we're gonna go back. We're gonna go find a different block to work on. One that I have more of the pieces for. And again, like I said, I have no idea why I don't have all of the pieces for this already. I've had it long enough because I got these last year. And I've been working on them, but apparently not working hard enough. All right. So I've got some spare Steam Seam small pieces. I'm going to put them over here with my Steam Seam. And I'm going to get my trash off my counter. Get my extra random fabrics off my counter. I get my Steam Seam paper out of my fabric drop box. Who else has a fabric discard bucket? Mine's a 5-gallon bucket, and it was maybe a quarter of the way full yesterday morning, and then throughout the course of the day yesterday, it is now. If I pushed it down, it'd be halfway full. It would be halfway. All right, we're going to pull out some of these blocks. Welcome in, Giovanna. Glad to see you. Yay. I'm so glad to see you. I am just pulling things out of this one box with all of these blocks that I need to do. Oh, you know what? Here's a piece of the owl. Here's the other ear. I guess I can put the other ear on there. So we did have the ear. That means that the beak might be in here somewhere. So we're going to see. We're going to see. Okay, so I haven't done, there's supposed to be tumbleweeds in the windows. But I haven't done that yet. And I'm going to show you guys. This is the 2024 block from the same store. So this one is the 2023 block, but I picked it up. And this is the 2024 block. So the jail needs windows. It looks like in the picture that the water tower has something on it, but I don't know what. There's no instructions. And then there's supposed to be tumbleweeds. And I haven't done the tumbleweeds yet. And I haven't done the windows. This is the white for the windows. So I will have a lot of that to do. So it's going back in the box. There is no more pieces in the box, so the beak to that other one is not in there. Let me put the papers that go with that one in the box. Welcome in, Ollie. Glad you are here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So this one was a completely piecing block. It was all Drunkard's Path blocks. So here's one There's 2, there's 3, there's 4. We've got 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So it's a 9-patch block, but it's all on point and it was all piecing. So that was a lot of fun. Sheriff Owl, yes. So it gets cuter. So if I can get to that shop this year during the shop hop, their owl this year, oh my gosh, his hat is like, oh, it's so perfect. I knew the moment that I saw it, I was like, that is that shop's block, because she loves owls. My husband loves owls, so it kind of sticks in my mind. This is another shop block from last year. This is a little building, and it's kind of hard to see. Even in person, it's kind of hard to see. But the building itself is a pale purple, and then this is blue sky on either side. So same as the top. So it was all pieced. They pre-embroidered their name on there. And in theirs, they had a little quilt block in the window, but they didn't include instructions on how to do that. So I'm going to probably make a quilt block or a quilt, mini quilt, to put in the window before I finish it off. And there's no handle on the door. So I'm going to have to put a handle on the door, I think. But it was to represent their little shop. And it's very close. It's very close. This one was a mix of applique and piecing. Giovanna says she has a cutting die now. Oh, fantastic. So I like doing this one. This one was a lot of fun to piece. I'm not really thrilled about applique, so I haven't done the applique part yet. So he's fused down, but I haven't appliqued. Welcome in, Judy. Glad you're here. Yeah, we're just hanging out for like an hour, maybe 2. I have an event to go to tonight that I am helping organize. So I can't stay a whole long time, but I'm going to stay as long as I can. So this one was my local shop. I can't believe it won't focus. Why is my camera not focusing, guys? There we go. So it's world map fabric, like Pacific Ocean, Dominion of Canada, United States. Like it's not accurate. But all of this, all of the car and everything is all fusible laser cut applique. The little bumper sticker says, I stop for quilt shops. So I have to do a lot of applique to applique these down. Ollie says that he likes that buffalo. I do too. He's kind of cute. We're going to see what other like quick ones I can do. So that's kind of the goal. Judy says she's taking apart the recliner sofa to get it out of the house. Oh, goodness. Is this we are happy to get it out of the house, or we're not super happy that we even have it to have to get it out of the house? All right, I'm going to put this owl's eye on there so we can get the owl put in the box. I just wish I knew where his beak was, and I don't know if they knew that they weren't including the black for the eyebrows, but they didn't include it. And maybe they didn't include the maybe they didn't include the orange for the beak. Maybe that's why I don't have the beak. But I thought I would. Okay, so we're going to fuse that down real quick. So over the iron. Dominion of Canada is also pre-1967. Oh, okay. Welcome in, Rita. Glad you're here. Yeah, I had no idea. That is just what fabric they chose. And I bought kits at all the stores. There is one kit that I absolutely would love to have this year. So I've got to look and see again which store it is to make sure I go there. Judy says she bought a new living room furniture. It's going to be delivered Wednesday, so trying to get the old furniture out. I understand that. I definitely understand that one. All right, this one's paper piecing. We're going to hold off on that one. Oh, you know what? Let me put all these pieces that go with this owl. Let me put that in with that owl. Okay. So we've got, that was 1, 2, 3, Oh, come on. 3, 4, and 5, and 6. So I've got 6 out of 24. Actually, I've got more than that. But 6 out of 24 blocks done. Okay. Of course, they're not embroidered. How is your hand? It's okay. It's not pleasant, but it's not super bad hurting, so I guess it's all right. They're so heavy if you don't take them apart. Yes, agreed, Ollie. They're incredibly heavy. Okay, so this one's going to be piecing, so I'm going to do this one later. I chose a purple for mine, so they cut you a kit once you get there. And let me see if this diagram shows you what it's going to look like. It's not colored in, so you'll have to use your imagination a little bit. Yes, okay. So it is a suitcase. So there's a handle up here. My light is too bright. There's a handle. This is part of the suitcase. These are the accent stripes. And then there's wheels. So all of that is part of this little kit. So that one's a piecing one. So I'm going to set that aside because I can work on that at a different time and not have to worry so much. They are heavy. Yes. Any kind of reclining furniture is going to be heavy. Oh, guess what I just found, guys? I just found the beak. The beak of the owl that I was looking for. So we are going to fuse that down real quick. So this owl keeps coming back out of storage. The owl is not ready to go into the sweet unknown. Now if I could just find that upper wing. We just need to find the upper wing. Put the light off. Yeah, I think I'm going to. Oh, well, okay, so you guys can really see that better now without the light. Let me move it out of the way. So as long as I stay out of the overhead, maybe that will help. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. You guys let me know. It feels like it's really, really dark. Like the amount of light you guys are seeing on the camera is not what I'm seeing in person. Like it's seriously, seriously dark. All right, let's see if I can get the fabric and fusible peeled apart, guys. This beak is being tough. Oh, it doesn't want to peel. Welcome in, Katie. Glad you're here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, there we go. I finally got it separated. All right. So we're going to put the beak on there. And I think I'm just going to leave it stuck on there. I'm not going to worry about fusing it. Just in case I decide I want to move the beak later. All right, so the beak is in place. We finally have a beak. So the owl can hoot and holler and screech or whatever. I think these are going to be easy, maybe. Are these fusible? Oh, these are not pre-cut either. Okay. I may pull one of those out. I don't know. This one's going to be a lot of applique, and there's no fusible included. I know that one. That one's going to be interesting. You know what? We may work on that one. I don't know. Oh, you know what? This one's already pre-fused. So let me see. I think I might have to sew a little bit. Welcome in, Carrie. Glad you're here. She says, hello, everyone. All right. So when you get a laser cut applique, no joke, guys. They can be so detailed. Let me put this on some white paper so you guys can for sure. Oh, well, that's not white paper on the back. Here's my steam-a-seam so you guys can see it based off of that. Look at all the details in this, guys. That is what they ordered and what they got for the fusible. Welcome in, Jacqueline. Glad you're here. I just decided to do a pop-up today. I wanted some sewing time in or some work time, and I hadn't been able to do anything. I have been cutting fabric the last 2 days. I have a clothes hamper that has all of my bulk of my scraps. It's not the entirety of my scraps, guys. I have more than that. It is nice, isn't it? It is so nice. Okay, so this piece and this piece need to be sewn together. So I'm going to sew them real quick. So I'm going to press them out real quick first, because this has been in storage since summer last year. And it was packaged sometime, probably about this time last year. So we're just going to sew and then press this little strip in place, and then we can put that applique in place. And that will be a quick block that will be done, enough for us to keep going. Looks too delicate for me. I would wreck all that just trying to iron on it. Well, that's where a pressing cloth comes in handy. I don't have one. Maybe I do. I've got one here, but I'm trying to think of where it's at. I don't know if it's within reach or not. But if it is within reach, then you can just lay a pressing cloth over it. And then the thing is, you don't iron, you press. So you pick up the iron, set it where you want to press, and then you pick it up and move it to the next section you want to press. You don't iron. Iron is moving that iron around all over the place. And pressing is just set the iron where you want it, heat it up, and then you're good to go. Like that's what we're doing. That's what we'll be doing with this. So I'm going to put my ender, my leader ender underneath my machine so I can cut my pieces off. I have found, so in my scraps, people have given me a lot of half square triangles. So they're cutoffs from doing flying geese or from doing snowballing corners, you know, any number of things. I have gotten a ton of them. So I have an entire bucket full of just, you know, half square triangles. So that one was actually from mine, but there's a lot from a lot of people. All right, let's see if they tell me if I should be pressing it open or pressing, nope, it doesn't say which direction to press, so I'm going to press open. Just so I have a cleaner line because of where they want you to line that up. And we're going to trim this if necessary. We're going to see if we need to trim it so that I have the placement. Actually, I could trim it later. Never mind. We will hold off on trimming. I will have to do steam a seam on the sun because that is not pre-fused or traced or anything. So you guys will get to see me do that. And my iron just sputtered water everywhere. So we're going to dry it up. That is one of the challenges that I have is it does that so frequently. You can make so many patterns with them. Yes. With laser cut, absolutely. It's like endless. So a lot of people, so that one that has the car and the road signs and all of that, that was laser cut pre-fuse as well. I'm wondering if this one was the one I could pick up in person. There was another one that I had to be sent because it was, yeah, they didn't have any more in stock. They were completely out and had no idea. Like they were going to wait until everybody had ordered their kits and then they were going to order their fusible designs. And I was like, why don't you just go ahead and, you know what? We're going to take this over the iron before I start peeling off. We're going to do that. So I don't have to move it extra. So we're going to be over at the iron. All right. And I am doing this facing away from me because I want to be able to see where these lines line up. Because what I want to do is I want to line these trees up right here on both of these sides. I want to line them up directly with the seam that I made. There's a little fold in my applique, but that will be all right. Oh, there's pieces that weren't popped out. Oops. So we're going to pop those out real quick. Oh, where's my pen? Welcome in, Alicia. Glad you're here. And I still have not sent that email, so don't panic. It is me. It is my fault. I'm the problem. But I will get it sent out by Tuesday. That is my plan, by Tuesday. I did not realize we were missing little applique pieces that were supposed to be punched out and weren't. All right. So what I'm doing on these super small little applique pieces that weren't punched completely out is I'm just going in with a pen and I'm just punching them through so that maybe I can get a hold of them on the opposite side and gently ease them away, because I want to make sure I don't rip into anything that I want to keep. I don't want to rip into anything I want to keep. All right, so this one's the most fragile one probably. It looks like a wishbone, guys. Let's see if I can get this in the camera. Oh, there we go. Look at how tiny this is. That's my index finger that it's sitting on. And it's so tiny, and there's two little prongs to it. It is like a mini wishbone. All right. So I got a couple more that I haven't poked through yet. So let's grab them. And they did do this lasering on batiks. That's what this mousse is made out of, is a batik. So I don't know if that has anything to do with these pieces not punching out or being really stuck in there and not wanting to leave. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. This is my first year dealing with a lot of these. Welcome in, Mary. Glad you're here. Thank you. We are just hanging out working on some shop pop blocks from last year from Wyoming State Quilt Shop Pop. I don't know how many of the shops I'm going to hit this year. It will probably not be all of them unless I just happen to get lucky and make a trip. But there's like one or two that I probably will not make it to for sure, just because they are such a long distance drive. All right, I've got all of those popped out. Let me get them off my ironing board so I don't accidentally end up with them somewhere that I don't want them to be. All right, they're so tiny. They're so tiny. Well, there's one that's going to have to be vacuumed up. That's what a vacuum cleaner is good for, right? Vacuuming up those pieces. All right, so I wanted to start up here and start pulling down, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the top of the mousse where there's a little bit more bulk to his body. And so I'm just going to get my pin in there and I'm going to separate the fabric from the paper. Just gently, I'm just going to gently ease through and around a little bit. And then when I can get a hold of the paper, we're going to lay it down and gently ease it up in sections. So I'm just going to tear the paper because I'm not going to put a lot of extra stress on this because I don't want the fabric and the fusible to stretch. I want them to stay as true to form as possible. And I'd rather take that extra time to make sure that I'm not the reason that it's stretched out or that something broke or you know what I mean, right? Or stuck on the mat, right? That stuff would get stuck on the mat. Those little fusible pieces, they definitely would. And they had a bubble in this when they made it. So my mousse is going to have a little bit of a bubble in him, but it should not be bad. All right, so we're going to do the same thing as before. We're sticking the pin underneath and just gently easing that paper up until we can get it to pull. And then there's those beautiful antlers. And here's a little piece up here, and it's just going to come off. I'm not going to fool with it. It's too tiny. I do not really feel like dealing with tweezers today, so it is what it is. All right. So we're going to line up the tree base with where we want it to go, and that's where we're going to start pressing. So if you're lining up an applique or fusible and you want it to stay put, where you want it to stay put with, like where your registration is that you want to match to, that's where you need to start. That way, if anything does happen to stretch or pull or whatever, you can go back and fix it later. So the nice thing about some of these laser cuts is they do use a very, very good adhesive. So 3 to 5 seconds and it is completely adhered. Okay, so I've got a little piece that's pulling up, so we're gonna do a little bit more heat. We're just gonna check it. Carrie says, talk about good timing. You're doing that, Moose, and I just saw one cross my yard. Oh my gosh! Yes, rut season is going to be here soon. Yeah. Rut season is going to start up very soon if it hasn't already for some groupings. As soon as the weather warms up, they get into that mood. And this is going to take, my iron let out water again. They are mean. Yes, they are mean during rut season. They absolutely are. They have no tolerance for human antics. We have no tolerance for them. They have no tolerance for us. The feeling is mutual. Okay, so that's as fused as it's going to get. And I still have a couple pieces that are not liking to be fused. So that's not on me. That's on the applique. So when not me as long as you leave them alone, right? But you have to leave them alone. All right, so we are going to trace and cut out our sun. So the pattern that they give me for the sun is this right here. So what I'm going to do, and I just do this in pencil because that's what's easy for me. But you can do this with pen or whatever. One wrote off my godmother's. Oh, it wasn't doing a thing, yeah. Well, I mean, it was in the way. And they're right, as we've taken all their land, right? We have. We really have. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see the sun through my steam-a-seam, but I can see it. And since I'm the one tracing it, that's what matters, I guess. So I'm just going to trace that out. And I really don't want to waste extra steam-a-seam because there are so many applique blocks in the 2024 shop hop for Wyoming. So I don't want to waste any. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to cut out the center so I can keep the center. Okay. So we're not wasting anything. Mary says her friend is in Alaska right now. She sent me a picture of a moose with twin babies. Oh, stay away from them then. Definitely stay away from them. Oh, thank you, Katie. She's reminding everybody, please hit that thumbs up to help me out. I appreciate it so very much. All right, so I'm not cutting the whole sun out. I'm just curving around until I can. Okay, so, I cut around part of where I traced. So what I'm going to do so that I don't waste any extra steam-a-seam is I'm going to come in and cut along that center circle because I don't need it for this applique. And you can do whatever shapes or sizes you want to keep out of your applique pieces. You do not need steam-a-seam behind the entirety of this circle that you're going to be putting in. There's no need for it. All right, so my fabric is also batik, so I can choose whichever direction I like it. So I'm going to go that way, and we are going to peel and stick. And we're going to conserve fabric too, just because I do use those super tiny pieces, those little 1-inch pieces. So I have a halo of a circle. So now we're going to come in and we're going to cut off the pieces we're not going to need of the yellow. And that can go into my scraps until I'm ready to cut my 1-inch squares out of it. Goodness knows I have lots of that to cut through. I really did get a big pile of scraps, guys. But I do have my block swap blocks cut. So I will be working on assembling those in the next few months. They're not due until September, so I have a few months. And because I don't need the steam-a-seam in my scrap box, I do pull it back off of the fabric. So if you don't press it to the fabric, then it will just pull off. All right, so that's my scrap piece. Oh, you agree with me on the steam-a-seam? You don't need all that extra? Yeah. I mean, there's no sense in having all of that product on there that you're going to have to sew through if you don't absolutely need it. Could I use a punch to cut out the steam-a-seam? Yeah, if I had one. I don't have a punch for it, though. I just don't have a punch for it. I mean, it would cut like, paper does. All right, so I'm going to peel off my paper. And so I have that little halo of steam-a-seam. And they put the sun up here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put the sun up here. We're actually going to, we're going to keep it kind of close because I don't know how much I have to trim off. All right. And then we're going to press that down and this block is done until I am ready to start appliquing or start stitching. So that stitching process, especially on these super detailed blocks, these super detailed fusibles, is going to be painfully slow. I am not one to just leave just the fusible. I feel like it needs to be stitched down, so it will get stitched down. All right, so that one is now done. So that now gives us 7 that are done, which is nice. Giovanna says she has a ton of different punches as she used to make cards. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, cards, that would be a good way to have a punch for that. All right, so I don't need the bag for that one anymore. That one came out of Pinedale, Wyoming last year. All right. Oh, this one is going to be a trace and fuse as well. Okay. This one is going to be a just stitch it down. So I'm going to set it off to the side. It is a log cabin. There's not any instructions with it. I do remember this shop. So there's going to be a lot of just stitch it down kind of things. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to have to sew some on this before I can get to the applique. So it's going to go into my sew pile. Ooh, here's one that's fusible. Let's see what this one's supposed to be. Oh, I remember this one. Okay. So we're going to see what of this we can do and what of this needs to wait. So this is going to look like this. You see the bear with the mountains behind him. That's what it's going to look like. And so they cut out the bear and the little mountain range that goes up above and behind him. Oh, my bear is not one piece. I don't know if that's intentional. My bear is like not attached to itself. Maybe it is intentional. I don't know. Oh, it is intentional to not be attached. Okay. It's supposed to actually be spread out a little bit according to the picture. All right. And then the very, very little fragile mountain scene here. And then there's a little punch out that they didn't punch out. Okay. There we go. All right. So we got the mountains behind there. Giovanna says she has too many crafting supplies, right? Don't we all, though? Don't we all? Okay, so the majority of this is going to be this piece. And then the mountains have to be pieced. So, and we're making 2 flying geese out of the mountains. And then this is going to be applique on top of the mountains. So I'm going to have to trace that to do that. So that will be part of later. But, let's see. You must start your fabrics before sewing this first stitch. You'll be cutting across the bias. Place them right sides together. Stitch around the perimeter. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is 2 at a time flying geese. I don't enjoy this. Ollie says he does not have too many crafting supplies. None of you do. More tools, right? I do not like 2 at a time flying geese. Is not my thing. Let's see. Oh, 4 half square triangles is what it's going to be. It's not flying geese, it's half square triangles. You guys are so funny. You guys are so funny. All right, so I've got 2 squares, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam all the way around the 2 squares. That is what they're telling me I need to do. And it says it's okay to sew off. I'm just going to get to that 1/4 inch and I'm going to pivot. That's what I'm going to do, because I'm me. I don't always follow the instructions. But I have no more of this fabric, and I'm not going to go buy any. So it's going to be what it's going to be. And this is why I have 24 treadles, right, Ellie? I so cannot wait for my guests tomorrow night. I'm so excited. So excited. It's been a while since I've had this big of a surprise coming. I cannot wait to see what you guys think of my special guests. It is sure to be an interesting evening. It is definitely going to be an interesting evening. All right. Oh, and on another note, speaking of guests, Mr. Siberian Wind has agreed to schedule the Van Gogh night. So I think we're looking at June for the Van Gogh night. So if you want to quiz Mr. Siberian Wind on Van Gogh, that is the night to do it. Whenever we schedule it. Yes. Yeah, Ollie has 24 treadles. Giovanna. He's a little crazier than the rest of us. Oh no! Knife, I got you. Stop spamming symbols. I'm sorry, Giovanna. Nightbot's good at that. Nightbot's so good at that. Okay. So this is my square that I just did. And to do the 4 at a time half square triangles, which again, by the way, I don't do them this way. I am doing them because this is what the pattern says, but I don't do them this way. And my ruler just shifted. All right. So we got that one cut. And they're like, rotate your mat, but make sure your fabric doesn't move. I'm not rotating my mat, guys. I am not worried about it. All right. So now I've got them cut. And let's see, trim down to 3.5 to 3.5, press to the dark. Okay. So we're going to press to the dark. I guess. If it says press to the dark, that's what we'll do. All right. So here's those half square triangles. And I don't like doing the 4 at a time half square triangles this way because all of these outside edges are now bias. So it doesn't matter what I do, they are going to possibly stretch. And that's not cool. I don't want them stretching on me. I don't want them shifting anything, but they're going to do it anyway. They're going to do it anyway. So I still do the 2 at a time half square triangles where you sew on the bias and then you cut them apart. That is my primary method of half square triangles, solely because then you're not running that risk of potentially having issues. I hate the idea of having issues with this. And this is how I press, guys, normally. Yeah, starch. Yeah, I'm not starching. My starch is over there, and I'm not going to grab it right now. I'm not starching. We're just going to grin and bear it. All right, so this one we are trimming to 3.5 by 3.5. So I like the Creative Grids rulers because they already have that marking on there. And see, I don't know if they didn't cut their squares right because this is barely 3.5. Like it is not even completely 3.5. So I'm probably going to have that problem with all of them, which is really disappointing. But that was the entirety of the squares that they gave me, so I'm not, it was not me. It was however they cut it. But I'm not going back and buying more fabric because they didn't cut their kit correctly. I do have another one that I have issues with. That I started with like early on, like it was one of my first ones I wanted to work on and get done. And I have not figured out how I want to finish it yet because I can't finish it the way that they said to finish it. Like I've got to figure out a different method because it is not going to work. I will figure out a method. I will figure out a way to do it. But their method does not make sense and does not work. Giovanna's laughing at me for not wanting to go grab my starch. Hey, this one is mostly 3.5. There's a little bit that's not 3.5 on it, but it is mostly 3.5. All right, that seemed to impress completely flat. Just trim off the seam allowance. All right. Different rulers give different sizes. They do. They do. I like that this has, though, like one side is all the full inch measurements, and then the other side is all the half-inch measurements. I actually really do like that. It took me a while to get used to, but now that I've gotten a little bit used to it. Welcome in, Linda. She says, doing some sewing while listening. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I just decided I was going to pop on for a little bit, work on these blocks that I have been dreading working on because they're not, like I bought all the kits because it was my first full summer here in Wyoming. We moved up here in May of 23, but I did not even like know anybody or anything. So it was a lot of, trying to figure things out. All right, so this is what we're going to do with them. We are going to sew them together like that to create mountains. And then the applique will go on top of there, like this will go on top of there, this white. But I'm not going to worry about the white until later. I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and press it out, do it today or not, but we will see. We will see. All right, so we're going to go ahead and sew these. And I didn't like their idea of pressing everything to the dark because you're sewing darks to lights. And then your lights, your seam allowances are going to be on top of each other. But I guess if we're putting applique on top, I guess it won't matter if it's a little wavy or not as straight as you'd like it to be. But you definitely have to be careful when you're sewing these together. Now that you've got them cut and everything else, because they are bias edge. Everything on the outside edges of these is bias, which is why I don't do this. All right, put another leader ender under so I can get these off the machine, and then sew them together. See, every time I'm sewing now, I am using a leader under, and it's becoming a habit. So I will have a whole bunch of half square triangles sewn together very quickly in all different sizes. So I will have to go in later and go trim them, like press them and trim them, but that's okay. Working on a scrappy quilt top, 4 more rows to do, then I can sew it together. Oh, fantastic! I have pulled out more pinks and reds for that pink and red triangle quilt. I got things cut, that dark blue for the Christmas quilt that I had gotten started on, the Winding Ways quilt. That quilt is prior to Tom and I getting married, so it is more than 7 years old. Love leader and ender sewing, makes it easier for me. Yes, it does, Ollie. I am learning that. It has taken me years to get to a point where I could do leaders and enders and not, really struggle with them or having them. But now I'm hooked. I'm hooked. All right. So, are any of you doing a shop pop this year? Are any of you guys going to, all these different quilt shops and picking up blocks to put together? I did row by row years ago. My poor little row by row quilt is so sad. I was going through a lot when I made it, so it's kind of like a big memory for me too. But the rule was you had to get 12 rows and they all had to be on the same quilt. So I put 6 on the front and 6 on the back and made it a wall hanging size. And there's no wall I'll ever hang it on. Working on American patchwork and quilting so long called picnics. Oh, cool. Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and attach this because why not? So we're going to attach it and then we're going to do the bear and the mountain range. We'll put those on here. And then we'll see if I feel like we're going to do the applique today for the mountain, the snowy mountain range tops. We're going to see. I don't know if I feel like doing it or not, but we're going to see. I have like 45 minutes before I have to call it quits and start getting ready for leaving and all the other things I have to do for tonight. So we will see. We will see. Okay, so I don't know what I want to do. I don't know. There's so many options. Ooh, I need to get more of my leader enders out soon. If I do a whole bunch more sewing, I am down to like 5 or 6 left up here on my table. I think I am going to get, if you guys have ever had a Sew Easy table, that's what this table is. I have an extended piece that goes on where the machine goes, like it goes on the frame to hold it. And it works like a tray table. So you have a little bit of extra working place or working zone. I'm going to press these towards the bottom. I'm not even going to worry about pressing them open or pressing them any other direction. They're just going to go press toward the bottom. So I may see if I can find that tray table and put it back on there so that I can, you know what, we're going to do this every year. Brain. I need my brain to function. so that I can put my leader's enders on it and have that right at my table. And it can be kind of hidden because I can tuck it away and all of that. All right, so the bear is going to go like that. And as long as I've got plenty of room for the bear, it can go wherever I want to, because there's nothing else that goes down here under the bear except for that mountain range going above it. And that's about where it's supposed to be. So let's start peeling some paper. Peeling some paper. I just hope this bear fuses. Like I just hope I don't have any problems with this bear fusing. These points are so darn tiny. So darn tiny. All right. We're going to set him down and keep him still. And see if we can get this off in one piece versus multiple. All right, this one's doing better than the moose did. Okay. So this came from a quilt shop that is a sister quilt shop to the one that had the moose with all the different parts and pieces. So this was from a similar quilt shop, a sister shop. All right, so we're going to place him there. We're going to go and peel the backing off of this if we can. Be very careful. Yes. I got to be insanely careful with this. This is like, it feels like it's going to fall apart as it is right now. I don't know why they thought this was fantastic for putting together a quilt shop pop, but I mean, how am I supposed to stitch something this tiny? Like, are they assuming that we're not going to stitch it? Like it's going to be a wall hanging? Because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because, I mean, yeah, okay, so that didn't even hold. The fabric itself, there's not even enough thread there to hold the fabric itself. So when you're looking at fusible applique, guys, like laser cut fusible applique, keep in mind that the smaller the pieces are, the more likely that the fabric itself will not hold up. And I don't think they thought about that when they ordered this. Like, this would have been fine if it was cut out of like wood or something. But cutting it out of fabric, there's just nothing there to hold it. There's nothing there to hold it. All right, we're going to fuse that down first. So I'm going to have to stitch this down. There's no two ways about it. It's going to have to be stitched. But oh my gosh, guys, really? Like, I can't even stitch. Like, it's like one stitch straight, one straight stitch. It is not, I can't even zigzag stitch that. I don't know. I'm not enthusiastic about it. I'm really not. So one of the shops, what kind of fusible did they use? I have no idea. No idea. It's whatever fusible they wanted to use. And it's not very sticky on some of it. So it's going to go laying flat in the box until I am ready to do something with stitching it in place. So I'm just going to stitch it down. Or they expect you to hand stitch with thin matching or bold thread, number 10 hand needle. That is not happening. It's not happening. It's not. All right, so that block is now in there. It's as done as it's going to be. I will do the mountains on it later. Or should I do the mountains now? I really guess I should. Can you really stitch it without gumming the needle? Oh, yeah, that I can. They do, when they do these fusibles, they do use an adhesive that you can stitch through, but it's still a pain. It is still definitely a pain. All right, we're going to trace the mountains real quick. And I will go ahead and fuse those down because I'm going to be so fed up with this one that I'm not going to want to deal with it again for a while. I know I need to because I need to get this project done and out of here. But gosh darn it, right? You know? All right. So the nice thing about tracing a snow-capped mountaintop is they're all unique. So if I'm not 100% on the lines, it won't be the end of the world. All right, so that's that one. And let's see where I can put the other one to make it fit nicely and use as little fusible as I can. Okay. So yeah, I can stitch it without gumming the needle. So that I'm not worried about. It is just that it's ridiculous to have that small of a fusible piece and expect that, you know, you're going to be able to stitch it. Because I don't know that I'm going to be able to stitch that. Not easily. Not without a lot of possible extra words said that we don't repeat in polite company. So that will not be alive. That will not be alive at all. That will be, I don't know what I will be doing, but it will not be alive. I think I'm going to have to do that with all the fusible applique like that from this last year's shop hop, because it's going to be such an endemic problem. All right, we're going to peel and stick, and then we're going to cut these out. Okay. Let's see. Oh no, we're not fusing it yet. What am I doing? What am I doing, guys? You firsthand have witnessed video with music, right? Would that be a cursing Patreon page? I don't know. Is that what you want? Do you guys want a fully unedited version of me working on that? And no talking. Music and no talking. Yeah, that would probably be it. It would have to be no talking. I don't know if I would get in trouble or not on Patreon. I guess I wouldn't. I guess some of the creators over there do use some colorful language that is not in a children's dictionary. I know I do when I'm not on live. I definitely do. All right, so that's extra. I don't need that fabric, so it's going to go into my scraps. Here we go. I'm wondering what kind of music I would be able to use on that, though. Like, do we need to do... I don't know what would be funnier. Would you, like, want to do, like, polka music? Because I can't stand polka music. What kind of music should I dub over with for something like that? Oh my gosh, guys. Yeah, that applique process, stitching this stuff down, it's going to take a while. But I'm definitely going to do it all at the same time. Like, I'm not going to, like, divide it up just because I want everything to look as uniform as possible, even though all of these blocks are so unique. They are so different from each other. It's going to be all kinds of fun. All right, let's see. I think this reads Snow-Capped Mountains. I think it does. All right, so this is the left mountain. Okay. Oh, wait, you know what? My bear is backwards from what they have, so my Snow-Capped Mountain, I guess, is probably backwards. Soothing music. Okay. I don't know about that. I don't know if I can find any soothing music now. I would probably have to pull from my playlist, and I'm not sure how many of you are ready for my music playlist. What kind of music do you guys listen to? I listen to a lot of different types of music. Like, I was pulling stuff from the 70s last night. I was pulling stuff from the 80s. I was pulling some current pop hits. I was just telling my Amazon device to play, you know, this person and like play music from this person. And then when I got bored of that channel or whatever, I tell her to play something different. Like, I choose a different artist. Hallelujah. That's the celebration song, Giovanna. Hallelujah is the celebration. The I finally conquered this darn mountain and I am celebrating it. Okay, so there's my mountaintops. So we're going to peel and stick and fuse and get them done. I'll still get about 30 minutes, so we'll see what I pull into next. Let's look at the picture, see which direction let's see, they said blanket or straight stitch, sew down the applique for the other. Yeah, using a satin blanket or straight stitch, sew down the applique for the bear. I don't know of any blanket stitch that will fit over one thread. Giovanna likes all music. Ollie listens to many types of music. Welcome in, Jennifer. Glad you're here. We are just discussing musical tastes because when I go to stitch this down, I am probably going to be using some colorful language. So we're going to be dubbing it over with some music. So it's whatever I can find. It will be a celebration when I finish. Absolutely. Absolutely, Giovanna. It will be the biggest celebration. All right, so we're going to stick that one there. Is it perfect? No. Was their design perfect? No. They did not think this through. And this was one that I had to, and it's already even coming up. Like, that part didn't fuse. This one was one that the shop didn't have enough of them. So they were going to have to order. And I know how to stitch half square triangles, guys. So I know that I stitched them correctly. But this little applique design that no. No, I'm not happy. I'm not grumpy, but I'm not happy. Let's see. Not many machines with a blanket stitch. I have blanket stitch on both of mine, so that's not a problem for me. So maybe they want you hand stitch, but they said you can satin stitch, which is just a tight zigzag. So, you know, there's options. There's options. Yeah, this little mountain piece that doesn't like me is not wanting to stay. I mean, these trees are tiny too, guys. So, just so you guys can see up close, look at all the detail on these trees. You know, individual limbs sticking out. How in the world do you think that they want you to stitch that down and it looked this crisp? They didn't stitch it down in the shop. It was just fused in place. But now I know. Now I know. All right, so that's one more down. So I got a bag out of the way. All right, let's see what this one is. Okay, this is Moon Over the Bighorns. Okay, so this one is a stitching first. There's a little bit of applique, but stitching first. So it's going to go into the stitching category. Okay, let's see. This one's a stitching one too. I don't know why. Oh, it's got templates. Satin, not good, right? Satin stitching it works in some situations, but not in all. All right, I think this one is this. The Yellowstone. Maybe. Is that one this? No, that is not this. That is a totally different block. I gotta find that block. These are gonna be trace and all that as well. Let's see if there's any other easier ones. Oh. That one's that's paper piecing, so it's stitching. Okay. That's the one I gotta fix. Alright. Ooh, is this one, please tell me. Yes, okay. This one has stuff cut. This one's a piecing. I've got to find fabrics for it. Let me get those away from my iron. Alright. Thin would be the way to go, or that fine cut there would become a blob. Yes. Yeah, it's going to have to be thin no matter what I do. Okay, so, well, I have to hand it to them. They're a little bit ingenious. This little block was put in a Ziploc bag where they cut the zipper part of the Ziploc bag off and taped it down. So I guess that works. All right, so that bag is unusable. The only applique I do is mint holes in my quilt. That's normally me. I do have a couple of applique quilts I will be doing. So doing this is going to remind me of why I don't want to do the other. And I can use that for flat quarters. Yay. All right. They suggest that we take a phone picture for placement for reference. Sew borders on top and bottom and then sides. Press. Iron the shield and sewing machine on the world fabric. Okay. So this blue background fabric should be 10.5 by 10.5. And that is pretty close. Yeah. So we're good. Okay. So we are going to pick this up. They double-sided taping it in place so that way it wasn't going anywhere. Welcome in, Christina. Use a transparent thread. I might do that too. I think I still have some. Maybe. I'll have to look. I do have some specialty threads. I gave away a lot of the transparents to the lady that bought my long arm, my sit-down long arm, because that's what the lady before me was using to stitch hers with, or stitch her quilts with. And I'm not a transparent thread quilter. I don't quilt my quilts with that. So I have black strips that they provided to do the borders with. So we're going to see which ones are which size. Oh, that's a full long strip. And that is a full long strip, but it is large enough that I can cut the selvage off and we can just stitch these straight down. So that's what we're going to do. Welcome back in, Chloe. She says, hello all. Glad you're here. I'm going to be live for probably another just under 30 minutes. That's probably about it because I've got so much to do for tonight. And I have not eaten lunch yet. So I will have to get some lunch in me. So let's get these borders on here. I do like this applique though, guys. I do like it. But they did not include the pieces to go inside the A's or the E. And I don't know how I feel about that. How would you feel about that? Like if this was your quilt, would you do something to put some fabric in there, knowing that you have no idea what it's supposed to look like? Deb will be on in 30 minutes? Okay. Perfect timing then. I'll be able to end just in time for Deb. So you guys can jump over to Deb's channel and watch. Is she on her channel? Is she on Deb S, the Pug Mama Quilter channel? Because if she is, that makes it simple. You just send everybody directly over. All right. Let's see. I am running short on my leader's ender, so we're going to see how long I can last with what I got. Now, someone that did each letter back to a different color. Ooh, that would be fun if it was, if like I was doing that for my intention. I'm just trying to get them done. I'm not really that concerned. Chloe says, good idea, Ollie. Yeah, right? Giovanna says today, yes. No, I know it's today, but is she going on, is she on her, oh, she's on her channel today. Okay, that makes sense. Let me think through what I'm reading. I don't think sometimes, guys. I just turn my brain off and put it on autopilot. So that makes a lot more sense after I thought about it. And I hoped that a lot of these blocks were going to be piecing. And they're not. There's so much applique. So I was kind of bummed. But then, you know, they consider this piecing, even though it's just piecing a border onto fabric. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about it. All right, I'm not worried about my white thread being in there. My white thread can stay. It is a character trait because I am not changing my thread color for one block right now. I didn't buy these with the intent of like just blowing through them one way or the other, like just sewing them however. But when I saw how many of them were applique, and that's not at all something I enjoy, as a standard, it's not something I enjoy. It kind of was a little disheartening. All right, so this strip, they included the entirety of the strip, so I'm going to cut the selvages off. And we're going to sew the other sides on. And then we can fuse down the material girl and the little sewing machine. I like the sewing machine too. The sewing machine is cute. I wish I knew why my camera wasn't really focusing. Maybe I'm still zoomed in too far. I don't know. That or it's the lighting. I've still got to figure out lighting, guys. My lighting, you know, the things that I've tried to do for my lighting have not worked well. So my my desk lamp that is, you know, attached to the side of my table works really well for me, but you guys have a hard time seeing things because then it's just way too bright. Ollie has to make a coffee or his brain will go on autopilot. I understand that. I understand. I crave caffeine and I've not had any all month. I haven't had any all of April, or most of April. I had caffeine on the 1st, and that's it. It was a cruel April Fool's prank my body played. Very, very cruel. I could have done without it. And this will probably be my last sewing because I'm going to run out of leaders enders. So I won't have extra fabric without going to grab them out of my bucket. I have a whole bucket of them. A whole bucket. And I found so many more yesterday. So many more. My fabric strip wasn't wanting to stay put. It was wanting to shift on me. And let me cut off the extra. So I guess I can use the extra black strip to do the E and the A, filling those in. I don't have to draw out how I want them to look. Ah, yes, absolutely, Carrie. See you later. Caffeine is tough to give up, Chloe says. Yes, yes, it is. I got stuck back on caffeine in 2016. I had a chance to break it then, and I got stuck back on it. And so 2025 was my year, apparently. My body wanted to tell me to wait until 2025. I was going to need it until then. Something like that. We're going to go with that. All right. So here's a block, and I am going to just manually, with my little bitty snips, we're just going to trim off the extra from the first 2 strips I put on. Because there's no sense in taking this to the mat and using the rotary cutter and blade and all that. Or rotary cutter and ruler. Or something like that. Now when I square it, I'm going to square all the blocks at the same time. I'm not going to square it either right now. I have to go now. We'll be live soon. Oh, good luck, Katie. I will not be able to be there, but thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I will be getting ready for my event tonight that I'm helping host. It's an in-person event, not quilting related. But I got to be there. And I gotta get everything. Thanks for the live, Tammy. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I will be live tomorrow night too, guys. All right. So that's as good as it's going to get without starch, and I'm not pulling my starch out. So it is what it is. Oh, you know what? Let's do this the smart way. For the A and E, I would use a marker for my fabric to color it. I could probably do that too. I probably could. Oh, and Greenland is on here. Greenland is on this map. Oh, I didn't look at where the map was. This one was Road Trip Destinations was the name of the theme for last year. So all of these road trip destinations is kind of what they were going after. That was the overall theme. So we're just going to place that in there. We're not going to stick it down hard yet. And then we're going to go ahead and peel this up. And I am going to keep the paper for this one. Because what I may do is I may use this on the next piece of Steam a Seam and trace in there so I can figure out exactly where I want my A and my E pieces to be, like what I want them to look like. So we're going to keep this piece. Oh, and this fusible is sticking to the paper. It's not coming off cleanly. So they used a different brand of fusible for this from what the others use. So we're gonna, this I think is actual Steam a Seam. And my Roomba just lit up for some reason and beeped at me. I just heard it. It's in the other room. But it's not running. But it just woke up. And I don't know why. All right. Oh, this is, I don't know what. I think the laser cutter doesn't like Steam a Seam, maybe? Maybe that's what the deal is. It is not coming off clean. It is not coming off clean at all. It's a mess, guys. It is a mess. Oh, and part of the G just tore because there wasn't enough fabric there. Yeah, this one will require a little bit of extra work. All right, let's see. Let's see where I'm at, what I can pull off, how I can pull this off. Okay, there's that part of the G. Okay. That is what we salvaged. Now let me get the Steam a Seam stuck in place. Okay. All right, so Material Girl is now stuck in place. Let's put the sewing machine above it, and I am going to offset it intentionally so I don't have to worry if I center the Material Girl. And let's see if I can also pull this little piece off, guys. Look at what's stuck. Let's see if I can get it in camera. There we go. A little downward part of the G. Pal, could you stop, please? Thank you. All right. This will probably be the last of what I do then, with this messing up like this. Good grief. Good grief. Okay. Well, I couldn't even get all of it then. We're going to put this in there, one way or the other, and I will fill it in with black thread when I stitch it. That's what we're just going to have to do. All right. And then people ask me why I don't like applique, guys. Why applique is not on my favorites list. Applique wouldn't be on my favorites list if it was a song, guys. It is not my favorite. All right. There we go. All right, so that is down. So that is what that one looks like. It's still cute. Still cute, even with the broken pieces. Giovanna is laughing at me. Yep. I've earned it. I've earned it. All right, so that's that entire block. So it is going in there as well. And I will square all of these blocks up when I'm ready to assemble them all. So we will deal with it then. All right, so, ooh, is that one going to be an easy one? That's fusible. Oh, I got to sew some before I can fuse it. Okay, let's see what this one is. Is this... I'm just going to see. We're just going to look. There we go. All right. So, sisters. Okay, this was at Buffalo. Light blue base. All right, and oh, you know what? This might be fusible. It might be fusible the whole way. We're about to find out. All right, that's extra for that last block. So I'm gonna go to fix the letters. Welcome in, Lori. Glad you're here. I'm only gonna be live for a little bit longer. My alarm's set for 12 minutes from now, so that way I go get ready for tonight. I have stuff I have to do. All right. So let's see. All right, so the light blue is the background. Oh, yay, and it's one big piece. So I will not have to sew it. Okay. So we're gonna press it real quick. We're gonna get as much of these pressed in place as we can just to make that headway. All right. So my light blue background. All right, so this has fusible on it. That's gonna be our ground. And then the sun, oh, is supposed to be cut in a circle or a semicircle, so it'll go up there. So it has to be cut a little bit. All right, so this is going to go there. And then we have a sign. Oh, we're supposed to cut waves. Okay, so let's do that. I'm looking at the picture. So this is what we're going to make. So I just need to cut a semicircle out of the sun, and I need to cut the waves of the ground. Absolutely, Giovanna. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you. All right, so we're going to cut rolling hills out of this. Okay. So that's my interpretation of what they have. Is it accurate? Probably not. Does it matter? No, it does not. All right, so we're going to take that over and we'll fuse all this down. And we're going to cut a semicircle out of this. And it doesn't really matter how accurate it is. But we're gonna try to make it look pretty. We're going to try to make it look pretty. All right. So I'm kind of cutting it like a drunkard's path would be cut. I want to see if that looks good. That looks good enough. Okay, so we're gonna go the other. We'll get this pressed down, and this will be the last we do today. All right. So the nice thing about this is, because this is such an easy block, I'm not going to be spending a whole lot of time fighting with it, provided that they use a fuel other than seam-a-seam. Old seam-a-seam. And I don't think they use old seam-a-seam. Doesn't have any of the labels on it. Oh, that peeled off nicely. Okay. That's going to be beautiful. And I am making sure that it is all inside my block, so I don't have fusible getting onto my ironing board surface. So we're going to count these blocks too once I get this done. Once I get this fused in, we're going to count the blocks and see how many we've got done. And see, yeah, we're just going to see how many we got done. That's what we're going to do. And this one, this little sign has printing on it. It says, next exit Buffalo, attractions, Sew Sisters Quilt Shop. So it has, you know, all the printing on the little block. When I go to stitch it down, when I satin stitch it or whatever I'm going to do to stitch it down, I'm going to have to be careful not to stitch into the lettering because it's really close to the edge, especially on the top. So our bull kind of looks like he's charging, but that's okay. We're going to leave him, or our buffalo. Why am I calling him a bull? I don't know. I'm the weirdo, guys. I was calling him a bull. He's a buffalo. He's a buffalo. All right, there we go. So we're going to start up here. Oh, this is heat and bond. Okay. That's what I just saw a label. It's on the back of the bull, or back of the buffalo. I can't even keep his name right. He's a buffalo, not a bull. It's a B word. It's a B word. Stuff like this, I would absolutely appreciate a heat press. Like one of those t-shirt steam presses. I know they require a lot of like physical effort to operate. But wouldn't this be so much easier? Just line everything up and just press everything all at once. Oh, all right. Okay, so that block is now done. So let's see how many we've got done. Let me put it in the box and the paperwork with it. And that is going to be garbage. And okay, so one that I'm not working on today either. So the shop had, let's see which one. Okay, the block up here that has the tent on it that says Born, that was last year's block. The one with 2 and the one with Explore were previous year's blocks. So they put all 3 of them together into a wall hanging. And so you could get the entire kit to make the wall hanging. So I have 3 blocks instead of 1 for that shop. So that's, I have, so 24, so 25 and 26. One of the shops, it's duplicated, but you have a daytime scene or a wintry nighttime scene. And so I got 2. So let's see, so 25, 26, that makes it 27. And then I got the owl from last year. So I've got 28 blocks to put in this shop hop quilt. So I haven't done that one at all. No, haven't done any tracing on that one either. Where was that shop? Oh, I know where that is. Okay. I know where that is. All right. And then that one was one I was going to work on, but I'm not going to right now. Okay. All right. So now I can pull the blocks out here. Let's do it. Let's do this. All right. So I'm going to pull them back up in here. And we're going to go one by one, so you guys can see them in their entirety in the box. So that is the one we just did. It's from Sew Sisters Quilt Shop in Buffalo. And appropriately, they have a buffalo on it that I kept calling a bull. All right. Let's put the paperwork in with it. All right. This one is from Newcastle, Wyoming. There's a shop called the Strawberry Patch, and they have a lot of material in their shop. So it is very fitting that they called it Material Girl. So I've got extra fabric and the template so I can do the inside of the letters. So we'll do that later. Okay. This shop is a sister shop to the moose that we're about to see in just a minute. This came from one out in Riverton. So I'm going to have to be very careful when I stitch all of this down up here, and when I stitch in these trees, it's going to be a painstaking process. I'm going to take my time. All right, this is the other sister shop. This one is out of Pinedale. So this is the moose, and it's cut out of brown batiks, which are gorgeous. But again, same as the other shop, I'm going to have to take my time going around each and every last one of these points. All of these blocks that I'm going to have to stitch all this down on, and it's not even staying. All of these blocks that I'm going to have to stitch down on, I'm going to put interfacing, a fusible interfacing probably behind them, so that when I stitch them, the stitches have some extra support. Now this is a bonus block. This is from 2023's Shop Hop. It is missing its eyebrows and its top wing for the owl. Once those are done, it will be done, but I don't have the fabric for the eyebrows picked out yet, and I don't know where the top wing went. I had it, but I don't know where it went, but I have fabric for the wing. So should I need it, I have it, so I'm not worried. This was from my local quilt shop here in Casper. And the bumper sticker says, "I stopped for quilt shops." It's got the name of the quilt shop here, and then it's got a sign to go to Cheyenne or to Casper on it as well. It was all fusible, so that was very easy to put together. This shop is the one closest to Utah. It is in Evanston. So the Delectable Mountains was pieced, and then the Buffalo was fusible applique. And all of their instructions were in black and white, so you had no like extra color to help with when you were putting that together. This one was entirely pieced. This is from the Heirloom by Design Quilt Shop in Gillette. They embroidered their name on this piece of fabric, so it was already in the kit. I will probably add a quilt to this window and a door handle to the door. And I think I'm going to accentuate the outside edge of the building, because the building purple is really close to the sky blue. You can see it better over here than you can over here, because it's really so close in color. This one was from Torrington, Wyoming, and it is actually set on point. I don't know if I'm going to set it in the quilt on point. We will have to see what I do. But it was all Drunkard's Path piecing. It was 9 Drunkard's Paths. So it was really fun to put together. And they told you what colors needed to go where, which was absolutely fantastic. This is this year's from the quilt shop that also had the Snowy Owl from last 2023. So we have Mr. Owl Sheriff. We have the water tower and the historical prison that are in that same county with them. And I've got fabric for windows and fabric for tumbleweeds to put down at the bottom. So, oh, Alexa, cancel my alarm. So that was my alarm. So let me count the blocks. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 out of 28 done. So I've got 18 more blocks to finish in one shape, form, fashion, or the other. These two will be a lot of tracing, but they're identical except for the background fabric. This kit will be all 3 blocks from one quilt shop. So this 2024's block plus the 2 previous years. Then I will have my sewing ones to do, or the ones that need sewing first as well. There will also be, this kit is going to make a little sheep house, and there's other pattern pieces that go with this. So there's that one, there's applique. This one, I don't really want to pull it out, but it has a lot of trees on it, and then it has a Yeti, I believe. No, bears. There's 2 black bears in here as well. So there's one there and one here. So there's trees, but it is all just fabric in there. So I'm going to have to fuse everything before I cut everything out. This one is going to be a big trace as well. Just lots of different pieces and parts. As well, this one, it is Yellowstone. So the Old Faithful, and there's a buffalo in here. And with the fabrics, they kind of blend together, so it's a little hard to see. So it'll be easier to see once it's put together. This one I can't really show you. I've got to figure out how to do these stars. The instructions didn't make sense. This one is paper piecing, and it's going to have a tree, and then it's going to have a fence and that little quilt on there. You fussy cut from a piece of fabric they gave you. This one is going to be a simple one. It's a log cabin, so that will be no time at all putting that together. This one has steamboat fabric in there. You see the registered trademark on there. And it's going to have a star with steamboat in the corner. Steamboat is our horse and bucking cowboy, or bucking horse with cowboy on it. That's our common theme. This one is Moon Over the Mountains from Warland. So that one I'm gonna have to do some piecing to before I can do the rest of it. This one is also going to be some piecing before I can do anything. It is an envelope with a postcard. So I do have my postcard. It has a log cabin with a hammock in front on it, but I've got to piece that together before I can do it. I have the suitcase one that I showed earlier, and there will also be this one that is going to be it's going to be it's from around the block, so it's 4 different arrows pointing to different sections. So that's what that one's going to be, but I don't have any fabrics for it, so I'm going to have to pull fabrics. And I don't know where my giant buffalo template is supposed to go, so I guess I will find that out some point. So we got 18 left to go. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow evening. You guys will get to see and meet my special guests. So if you've not set the notifications to be on for the moment that I go live, you will want to set those. I will probably go live just a minute or 2 early, just so that, we can get everybody into the chat and all of that before you guys meet my special guests, because it is going to be It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Looks like fun, but lots of work. Oh, it is a lot of work. Absolutely, it is a crazy ton amount of work for these. I am not normally an applique person, so getting this many getting this many projects with applique on it was not exactly my brightest moment. So I will see you guys tomorrow evening. Oh yeah, absolutely, yes. You guys need to see me Sunday. You guys need to see me tomorrow night. So I will see you guys then. Thank you for coming to hang out. I appreciate it. If you've not hit that like button, please do so. And YouTube will appreciate it.